DeFi Slate team.
It's your boy Andy, and welcome back to the DeFi Slate YouTube channel. Smash the like button on this video, that really helps us out, and sit back and enjoy the content. Thank you very much.
Welcome back to the DeFi Slate YouTube channel. We're going to be talking about Aave v3 today and why it's so important for you to be able to use Aave v3 and their recent upgrades. I was actually listening to a podcast with Stani. I think it was on Bankless a few days ago, and they were talking about the upgrades. And one of the ones that really stuck out to me was the cross-chain kind of functionality that is now available through Aave. So of course we have 6 chains here now, and you're actually able to kind of relay some of this information from each chain using Aave to effectively end up eventually in a world where you can have your funds on Avalanche, and then you can borrow against your funds on Avalanche, on Arbitrum, or on Polygon, right? So really interesting stuff kind of coming from V3. Let's just hit on the quick features first. So isolation mode basically allows you to have certain assets to be borrowed only in isolation mode. So basically this won't affect the entire market. You basically get to open your own pool within Aave. And the reason why they do this is because if there's risky assets, so for example, if like Dogecoin, was in here, like some ERC20 of Dogecoin, and you went to borrow a bunch of money against your Doge and Doge just collapsed or something crazy, then you would have an effect on the entire pool, on the entire smart contract. But what isolation mode allows you to do is basically just have your own assets that are listed as isolated assets, which have a specific debt ceiling that doesn't affect the pool. So it doesn't really drain out the rest of the people. So that's cool. There's been a lot of innovations recently in lending and borrowing that have done isolation mode. So it's just super solid to see that Aave picked that up. High efficiency mode, so E mode, it features maximizing capital efficiency. So basically, as long as you have your funds in E mode, then you can basically have a little bit higher power to borrow. So you can increase your health factor and you can borrow more in E mode. So pretty interesting. How do you enter? You just toggle E mode. So let's go ahead and do E mode. So we'll go E mode. We'll go enable E mode. Please switch to Arbitrum, of course. Switch to Arbitrum. So we're going to enable E mode if we have enough ETH for gas. All right, we're going to confirm. So E mode allows you to borrow assets belonging to the selected category stablecoins. So basically, when you are enabling E mode, you can click enable blah blah blah, and then basically you get higher LTV within E mode, but you can only borrow assets within the same category of assets. So if you want to use E mode, you basically have to supply DAI or USDT or whatever it is, and then you basically got to borrow against it. So what I would do is, like, if I was farming stables here, you could really just kind of ramp up how much stables you have farming. You could kind of borrow and then redeposit and borrow and redeposit, or you could go and borrow stables here. You could deposit some stables here, borrow up to 95% LTV here. Oops, what happened? Okay. So you could borrow like up to 95% LTV on your stables, and then basically go ahead and go into a different yield farming pool. So if you're going to stay on Arbitrum, what you can do is, we just made a video on YouTube that is explaining the best stable yields. So what I would do is I would go ahead and watch this video. I'm going to give it a like while I'm at it. And basically on this video, you can have the best stablecoin yield on Arbitrum, and this will tell you where you can take your funds. So you could deposit some stables in here, borrow against it really high at a low rate, 5 or 5%, 6%, and then you could go and get double or triple that elsewhere, and just kind of make that free yield on extra capital while also your stables are earning yield in Aave. So E mode's pretty tight. I'm not sure why it's not allowing me. It says queued. So yeah, clearly something's going on, but it's all good. V2, V3 markets, yeah. So you basically need to withdraw and supply on V2, but the last thing is that gas has been just dropped dramatically. So that's really good. So yeah, so V3 is definitely a success. I think we're gonna start to see a lot more assets being supplied here, and like just for example, right now, like on Arbitrum, here's just a quick 21% available that just came up today. Yeah, literally just like came up today. So, there's definitely good yields here, good opportunity for you to go into that E mode and basically take action. And yeah, I mean, they're on every chain that's, I mean, pretty big, if you will. I think that they could get on Aurora. That'd be pretty tight. But yeah, there's clearly some decent stable yields all around for you to kind of take advantage of here on Aave. So yeah, excited to see what V3 does to TVL. I think overall, things are looking good. I think this entire UI is very clean, and yeah, I mean this is also good. I think Aave is going to make a big comeback into the DeFi summer, if you will. Yeah, so we are in E mode right now. So you can only borrow stable coins. So in E mode, some assets are not borrowable. Exit E mode, get access to all assets. So I can only borrow stables, right? So I need to, and if I supply ETH, right, then I'm not going to be able to borrow against it on E mode. I don't believe. Let me try it out right here and see if it'll work. So let's go ahead and supply some ETH, and let's see if E mode will allow us to borrow stables. The whole point of E mode is to basically just be able to get more collateral to borrow against more assets to be able to borrow against the collateral that you have. So basically getting you a higher loan to value ratio, which allows you just to have more capital efficiency because you basically have more capital to operate with. Yeah. So all right, so we have supplied that. So let's go ahead and borrow. So we can borrow. Let's see. So we can borrow. I mean, we have $52 added, and we can borrow 41. That's 80%. And so the reason why we can't borrow that 97% is because we didn't borrow against. We didn't borrow against a stable coin. In E mode, you can only borrow against the same collateral. So I'm not going to go too degen with it. We're just going to borrow 35 DAI, and then we're going to go ahead and do some yield farming with that. So we're going to go here, and we're going to confirm that. And then all we're going to do for some yield farming is we're just going to go to Saddle, super cool protocol. And we're going to deposit in this USD S pool. We need USDT or DAI, RIP. All right. We can go ahead and get that available. No worries. Or we can also go to Stargate on Arbitrum and do some yield farming as well. Right now we're looking at, they don't have DAI available, but on Arbitrum, looking at about 13 or 14%. Polygon 13, 14%. So yeah, looking good there for sure. And let's see, did that go through? All right, it did. So I have a really low health factor here. That's not where you want to be, but just for the sake of this, we're doing a little bit of a lower health factor. And then basically the best way for me to get from stablecoin to stablecoin is probably just go to Curve and go from, I can't even use DAI here, come on. It should get us there. Nope. Okay, looks like DAI is not really even an option here, you guys. So that's all good, but effectively all I'm trying to do is basically go from borrowing stables at 3% to going ahead and trying to get something a little bit stronger percentage-wise, like something like this or something like this, and just kind of getting that arbitrage. And that's what Aave allows you to do. So yeah, guys, Aave V3 is definitely a revolutionary product. It's exciting. I'm excited to kind of see it play out. And thanks for watching.